What's up, guys? Welcome to Blue Presents a podcast where I discuss all things music and how it affects my life. And today, my guests are Andrew and Nick of the band The Mighty Fall. And these guys are coming out of Rhode Island, man. And it's a great episode, man. These guys are really, really excited about a new record. Also, we recorded this on the year anniversary of their EP, Look the Part, man. Look the Part, sorry. And this is an exciting interview, man. I think these guys... I say it a couple times, raw fucking energy, man. These guys have it. It's amazing. If you're looking for a band that is in the same vein as the Chariot, Every Time I Die kind of style music, this is the band for you. Then also, man, we talk about their hot sauce. We talk about their approach to dealing with recording while, you know, obviously dealing with what's going on in the world, man. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this show. And remember, if you'd like to be a guest on my show, man, reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Presents a Podcast, also on Twitter, Podcast of Blue, man. Once again, thank you guys. Appreciate the support. Check these guys out, The Mighty Fall. And right before we get started with my show today, man, listen to my boy, AJ Pelletier, tell you why you should listen to the Roads We Travel podcast.
Hey everyone, AJ Pelletier here, and I'm here to talk to you about my podcast, The Roads We've Traveled. It's a podcast where every week I talk to guests and friends from music, art, comedy, and more about their journeys through life, their struggles, their joys, and everything in between. You also get to know a little bit more about me and my journey as well. So if you like podcasts about good conversations about life, or maybe you're just looking to relate to somebody about some things you may be going through as well, then The Roads We've Traveled is the podcast for you. Subscribe to us today on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts, or wherever you guys get your podcasts from. Check us out and subscribe to us on YouTube. And check us out at facebook.com/Roads We've Traveled Podcast. All right, everyone. Thanks.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Blue Presents a podcast where I discuss all things music and how it affects my life. And today, I am joined by Andrew and Nick of The Mighty Fall, man. How are you guys doing?
What up? Peachy.
Peachy. Oh,
Just
man.
fantastic.
So I was talking to you guys before we started. I guess Andrew, this is not your first time on a podcast. Nick, this is your first time.
It's mine. Yeah, Nick's been on one. Yeah.
Okay, Nick's been on one. Andrew's been on one. Sorry, I apologize for the confusion.
Run the block.
So on my podcast, you know, we start off with the first question, which is, what are your top 5 bands? And Nick, it sounded like you had yours ready to go. Let's start with you.
Yeah, I was all excited. Oh, dude, yeah, for sure. 9 Inch Nails all day long. Mm-hmm. Pantera all day long. Every Time I Die, Norma Jean.
That fifth one, it's a stickler.
Incubus.
Okay. And how about you, Ian?
Most of that time, you could change at any time, but that's
yeah, man. No specific order, but Avenged Sevenfold, Green Day, Alisana, My Chemical Romance, and Real Big Fish.
Oh, okay. Whoa, that last one I didn't see coming, but yes, ska is alive. Ska is alive. Screw you guys.
You think we wear Hawaiian shirts for fun?
Exactly. And you know, that's real interesting because some of what Nick said, man, I'm gonna touch on later, man, because I've got a little. It definitely stuck out to me. But so, anyways, guys, my podcast is the discussion of the journey into music, man. So, with whatever you guys can tell me, how did the Mighty Fall start?
Well, it started with me and our vocalist Eeyore. We were in a band called Behind the Silence, and around the time that I had my daughter, we kind of stopped doing things.
Yeah.
And then after, you know, we kind of got settled in, and I was like, all right, I got time for this again. We tried to bring that band back, but it didn't work out that way. We wound up parting ways with our drummer, and then our other guitar player wound up leaving, so we got the drummer that we have now. We got Zach, and we had the other Zach come in for bass, and then drummer Zach introduced us to him. And that's kind of just where we started the Mighty Fall. We just kind of were like, all right, well, let's just scrap that old stuff. We'll just kind of rebrand, and we'll just start from scratch. And so like the EP that I had written, we finished it up, and and that's where we came from. That was the birth of Mighty Fall.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. So the first time I heard you guys was at the Devil Inside reunion show, and the first thing I thought was raw fucking energy, man. Seriously.
Well, hey, look at that. Our message came across.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Dillinger Escape Plan. That's the other one.
Oh, Dillinger.
Dillinger Escape Plan.
Yeah, right?
Nothing wrong with that, man. No. And it kind of tied into kind of what Nick said, man. I got that Every Time I Die Chariot kind of feel, Norma Jean-ish type deal, where it is just reckless abandon. You guys are playing well and throwing your bodies extremely well too. It's just one of those things where
it's it's supposed to sound like the wheels are gonna fall off at any second.
No, for real, man. You guys did such a great job that after I was done with the set, watching you guys, I was exhausted. You know what I'm saying? Because you guys threw everything, man. So let me
ask you, be drunk on top of it.
Oh my God. So let me ask you a question. Was that, when you guys started the band, was that the identity you guys wanted to go with? Just reckless?
100% no.
No.
100% no.
Okay.
Dude, so if you listen to the first record with Looked Apart was written all by me for that old band. And so I kind of still had that old band in mind. The vibe that you see now was 100% from him. That was a vibe that, like, he came in and he was like, listen, I'm not taking no for an answer. We're gonna be the fucking hardest hitting band that this town, this state's ever seen. And we're gonna fucking take over. And I was like, okay, Dad, I don't know what
okay, Dad.
And it wasn't really my style. I didn't know, what to expect. I didn't really know what to do. But that was all him, man. That was his energy. We just kind of fed off of it and just kind of sucked the nipple a little bit on that one.
Yeah, it's an important thing. That was the idea being like, you can go and see a band, and if they don't, like, you're not going to remember anybody who just stands there and plays the songs. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Is like, all of my favorite bands, and this is where I think part of what makes this band so good is how different we are as players and as like dudes who write songs and like the influences and all that stuff. We couldn't be
more different.
A lot of the common thread is just the fact that it's mostly guitar music.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, there's guitars, but that's part of what makes it good, is because we kind of like attack each other's music as each other, like, the way that he'll interpret one of my riffs or vice versa is part of the mojo is that. But one thing that was really, really important was like the bands that I kind of latched onto the most were these bands where you're gonna get your ass beat if you go and see them. You know what I mean? It's like the first time I ever saw Dillinger Escape Plan, I got punched in the dick so hard I passed out.
I remember that
kind of stuff. So it's like the energy is so important.
No, I remember going to see Slipknot for the first time and coming back when my mom picked me up. And my glasses were broken and my face was bloody, and she asked me what the hell happened. And I told her I had a fucking great time.
Yeah. You know what? Slipknot has that exact same kind of energy that we kind of want to throw off. I mean, they got 4 extra guys, and they're way better musicians than we'll ever be. But it's all that's Slayer, Slipknot, like
Pantera back in the day.
Yeah, old Pantera, just. Even old Avenged Sevenfold, like just that energy, that raw energy that you see them on stage. You're like, oh my God, one of them's gonna get hurt, or hurt another one of them, and it's just, like you said, just the wheels, just they can come off at any moment. You never know really what's gonna happen next.
Yeah, that's an awesome perception to have, man. People came to see a show. So you guys are from Rhode Island, and how are you guys dealing with what's going on in the world, man? We got to talk about it, man. How are you guys dealing with the pandemic, and how do you feel it's either helping or hurting you guys as a band?
Well, we're at work, so
yeah, we're literally sitting. We work at Guitar Center in Warwick, man. We're literally sitting outside.
Okay,
so we go to work every day.
Yeah. But for a little while, like most people, we weren't. But the bottom line is, here's the thing: is we were so busy last year. We had a ton. We had our show calendar was pretty torqued up, right? There was like a lot of shows. it was looking really good for the first quarter. We had a lot of stuff like kind of locked in and good to go. And I was making a lot of calls. I kind of planning some touring action going on for the summer. Mm-hmm. We were supposed to be on the road right now. And that's definitely like,
we're literally right now.
And that sucks. So it's a total fucking gut punch where we just got absolutely shafted, of course.
Yeah.
But you know what? We were most of the way done writing a record.
Yeah, we were like halfway done.
We were like about halfway, maybe a little more than halfway. We were maybe like 3/4 of the way there.
Yeah,
or a little less, whatever. Anyway, but we were making good progress.
Yeah.
And as soon as we all got just like stuck at home,
we just started belting out riffs. Man.
Yeah, pretty much. I definitely remember just being like, all right, fuck it then. I'll just finish the record, for God's sake. So it was just like...
we finished one song, and then literally the next day, I was downstairs, and I demoed out the next one, and put it in the. We do everything with Google Drive, and we just make basic demos. And I was like, guys, I know we just did one yesterday, but there's a new song in the drive. They were like, wait, what the fuck? How'd you even do that? And it was just, we tried to be as not scared of the pandemic as we could be.
Yeah.
And we just used our time as wisely as we could. We still got together every week like we would, with or without it. And we just, we took our precautions, but we made sure that we got our record done and we were making progress. Like we didn't, we see a lot of our friends and stuff that were like, man, I can't wait to practice again. And we're like, I don't know what that's like.
Yeah.
Like we lived, me and him lived together. So it was like it was tough for us to like not get together every week.
Yeah, you guys are already.
So we were just like, let's just suck it up. We'll put our big boy panties on and we'll just go. We'll just go. Finish this record, and that's what we did.
Yeah, man. That's an awesome thing, man. It seems like it's giving you guys a chance to sit back and maybe write more for the record, and that's a positive thing, man. Because especially now, man, I'm really starting to think 2020 sit your ass down is the label we need to really think about, because it's really making you it's really making you sit back and really think about what do you want to do next and why aren't you trying to make moves towards what's next? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. For a little while, right, it was hard because we were just, we're all big boys working full-time jobs, and then we were just getting blown out with show offers. We're playing all the time. So like, okay, writing is
we'll get there when we get there.
Something that we do in little fits and starts, This is almost like, if anything, it's like kind of a relief to just be like, all right, we're writing a bunch of music, I guess. That's like how that's going down.
It felt good. It felt good.
And
we're just trying to keep our jobs.
Yeah, and are you guys working with a particular producer who's overseeing what you guys are doing, even though you guys can't be in the studio or anything like that?
Nope. At the moment, no. We're trying we really want to do a DIY record.
Okay.
The only thing that we're going to do is we're probably going to go out and get some drum tracks done, because drum tracks are just so important to have the right sound and be really strong. So we'll probably try and ship out to get the drum tracks recorded and mixed, and then we'll take care of the rest ourselves.
No, that's awesome. That's a great approach to it. How is this new record feeling to you guys so far? Because how like you said, Andrew kind of wrote the first record with a different mindset. How are you guys going into the new recording?
Yeah, Look the Part was funny for me because it was like such a game of catch up. The songs were like 95% done essentially. And there's parts where like, I threw in a part here, a part there. Like, essentially, if anything, I guess maybe if anything, my contribution was the attitude, I guess. But it's so funny because you listen to the record. It's so funny to listen to Look the Part and then play it because we, if you go and see us now, we're playing all the songs like double speed. So
yeah, like, we're all drunk and torqued up and shit, dude. We play them so fast.
It's so different, and I don't know how that just started happening, but I think it was just because maybe as the new stuff started creeping in. But I guess to describe, I guess, the new stuff, it's vicious. It is fucking uncompromising.
Yeah,
I'm very, very, very proud of it because it's got enough of like, I guess like when you say a band has something for anytime anybody says a band is something for everyone, I fucking cringe. I hate it because that usually means that band is really up the middle, really up the middle, and they're not doing anything dangerous, right? But I'd like to think that when we say that this record especially is going to have something for everyone, it means we really like took each sort of direction that the old stuff kind of went out in and really took it to the extreme. So the fast songs are really fucking fast and there's like full on just D-beat and blasty shit and everything else. And then the groovy stuff is really, really,
really lays in,
really crunchy. Like if there's a hook, it's still me. You know what I mean? If there's like a melody, it's fuzzed the fuck out. So it's like mean shit the whole way through. I'm so stoked on this stuff. So it's like I worry so much about sounding, even appearing for a second to be like cocky about how much I think this stuff rules. But like I just cannot stress enough. It's like if every time when we listen to this stuff back, I go work out and listen to our demos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
you're that amped about what you're doing.
We're a band that I'd like.
Yeah.
We're a band that I would listen to if I wasn't in this band. Which should be goal number one.
That was the total mission statement with this record was like, if you were, like, if I was not in this band and I went to go see our band, would I have that moment at note one of like, holy shit, dude. Like, this is so sick. Yeah. I love this band. And honestly, like every single, the goal was zero filler, right? Like absolutely no filler. Just have every single part be the money shot. Every single fucking riff is like what some other band would kill for the drop on their whole fucking record to be like, bam, there it is. That's the one riff. It's every fucking riff on this album, dude.
That's awesome.
I'm so stoked.
So like talking about like the viciousness of the record, because I know nothing about Rhode Island, where you guys are from in Rhode Island. What is, yeah.
Lucky you.
That's great. We love it.
I was about to say, I'm about to follow up. What is your scene like over there? What is the sound like? Are you guys...
I thought you said you didn't want any drama.
Yeah. No. Oh my God. Is it more of a hardcore scene, a metalcore scene? Like what kind of flavor?
Metalcore scene, I think.
It's like very eclectic. I would say that it's extremely eclectic. There's a lot of music here. There's like a very, very like busy, like, as far as like from the furthest end on one end, there's like a very busy, very large, like kind of cover band scene and all this kind of stuff. So there's like a lot of live music, a bed of live music, just period. There's definitely some hardcore. There's a lot of like, it definitely like skews really like modern kind of metalcore right now.
There's a lot of pop punk too.
There is.
There's a lot of pop
although there was a lot more of it at one point, there's definitely like a decent kind of like contingent of that sort of stuff.
I was about to say, send me something. Send me something. Love pop punk. It is so hard to find good pop punk these days.
So you're gonna check out some of my buddies. Another One Down.
Okay. Another One Down.
Letters to Jenny.
Okay.
Hello Atlantic. I don't know.
Those last two bands are definitely pop punk bands. I'm sorry to stereotype, but if you ever heard that, if I didn't know what those bands were, as soon as you said them to me, I'd be like, oh, those are pop punk bands, right?
I've been friends with those guys for a while. And if you're really looking for some good pop punk, man, that they're definitely some of the top three that I've seen.
There's
awesome. Some cool like prog stuff too. Our buddies, this band Sunsinger from around here, Frantic Endeavor, they're friends too. The only band that even remotely sounds like us is this great band called Traverse that like doesn't do enough, and we because they're all busy doing like, it's like a weird little local super group of like guys from other big bands.
Speaking of which, that's extremely interesting that you mentioned that band, because I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the producer Aaron Shaparian. He's been on my show before, and he's done the Sentinels albums. He's done some, he's doing, there's this new band coming out of Connecticut, which I always talk about, good friends of mine, Worm Shepherd. And they have the
that
vocalist.
sounds like a band that I would like.
Yeah,
Sure does.
the vocalist Devin to Embers, who is a beast of a vocalist.
Oh,
is
I know
their
that guy.
Yeah,
I know him.
Yeah. I'm taking a guess you've seen either the Frozen Lake video or Ragnarok.
I think both. Yeah.
Yeah. Very. So
Yeah,
you already know it's black metal deathcore type deal. And apparently Aaron is absolutely obsessed with the band Traverse and has asked several times to produce their stuff, which is funny because he's such a great producer, and the albums that he works on, like, I mean, Sentinels is just like one of, to name one of, there. So the fact that he's even trying to hunt these guys down to produce their shit is kind of interesting, because that almost never happens. It's always the other way around.
He won't get his wish because they do it all themselves. And actually, I guess that's a particular worthwhile shout out to their Traverse's guitar player, Dustin, who kind of like drilled it into me that we should be doing stuff ourselves too. We were just kind of like shooting demos back and forth, just doing the buddy thing. And he's just like, dude, you guys should like really do your own shit. I'm like, you're right.
You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, the boy's right.
But if just in case they listen, they're taking too goddamn long. I saw Mike's girlfriend in a Guitar Center not that long ago, and I said, Andrew from Mighty Fall wants to play a show. Tell him to hurry the fuck up with the record.
Oh, man.
We love those guys, man.
I do.
So and that with that being said, and doing it yourself, what are some of the positives you're finding, besides the fact that I know you guys have this raw, brutal fucking energy? I'm sure this is going to be conveyed through the record. What are some of the positives you're finding doing that way, and what are some of the maybe setbacks and negatives on that part?
Well, the positive is that, there are a million great producers out there.
Of course.
But there's nobody that's going to know what you want to sound like you do. So you're going to know exactly what you want to hear in the mix at what point. And, you don't have to try and convey that to somebody of like, you don't get the question of why, which sometimes that question's good because you might be making a wrong choice. But, overall, like we know what we're aiming for.
Mm-hmm.
And, me and him are probably going to be really taking the reins on most of the production stuff. So it's like, we know, like, because we did the demos and because we kind of preemptively did some of the mixing stuff, we know what it's supposed to sound like. So it's going to be real easy for us to like, just get a fine tune on it and really get it to be like, pro quality, and then send it out to get mastered and call it a day.
The only thing that's really a downside is like, and this is, and to be totally candid and full disclosure, like there's a lot of this stuff that I've done before and I know a bunch about it, but there's things that you have to sort of like learn on the fly.
Oh yeah.
Which like kind of sucks sometimes because it just makes you feel like you're digging yourself out of a hole, where it's like, am I just like an idiot?
Can I actually do this?
Am I deaf? Do I not know how to do any of this? And it's just like, it makes you feel like you're just like your ears don't work sometimes. But then I guess that's maybe, if anything, just take more breaks. But like, yeah, at the end of the day, man, what he said is like, no one's going to know what your band is supposed to sound like better than you if you really have an idea for like, and some guys, especially too, it's like if you're not necessarily like a big picture, like the Vision sort of dude, and there's lots of people in bands that are like that, and having the big picture in mind is like so important, and that's just like, or like definitely in my opinion, it's just like, I think from the word go on this record specifically, I like had a lot of really specific vibe things in mind. We don't sound like, I mean, and you're a guy too, so you know this, like we don't sound like Converge. But I fucking love Converge. And one of the reasons why I love them specifically, and anything that Kurt Ballou produces, is because all of his records sound like they were made under a lot of stress. And or a band like even a band like The Haunted or something like that, where it's just like, it just sounds like the fucking wheels are going to come off at any second, right? And like there's just like strange sounds, and like the sound design aspect of it is like so perfect, and how like on any Kurt Ballou recording, you can always tell it's him because of the drum sound, specifically of how high energy that cannon snare. It sounds like a mile deep, right? It sounds like a giant, like a hubcap size, like snare drum, right? It's like massive. That kind of stuff is like so important. So definitely, in a word, for sure, the most important thing that's really good about doing stuff yourself is you're not spending money when you experiment. Because the time you spend, obviously, the second you set foot in the studio, dude, you're burning fucking money. You're burning fucking money.
Yeah, man, it's a weird combination sometimes, because you don't, and I have those things where certain times where you feel like no one should touch this. This is just perfect the way it is. And then, I'm on the other side as well too, where it's just like, man, I could really use something here. And in my experience working with the producer, and then this is the other thing too, is sometimes you'll hear bands who work with producer off of namesake instead of working with a producer who really identifies the sound, or maybe, like you guys are kind of doing your own thing. And I think for a band like you guys, where, like I said, raw fucking energy, you guys need to do it yourself, because only you guys can contain and show raw fucking energy. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm sorry. Yeah, you could take that tagline from me if you want. I'll take a thank you in the album credits.
That's a t-shirt, I think.
Yeah, hashtag raw fucking energy.
Exactly, hashtag raw fucking energy. But like I said, I'm on both sides of that, and I think that's cool. You guys have established not only your sound, but it sounds like your identity as well too. You guys are going to stick to yourselves, and sometimes the best thing you can do is whatever you can control in your hands. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
I don't think some artists sometimes are too scared to let that happen. You know what I'm saying? You're too like, ooh,
Very
I don't
true.
know. I want to set this kind of standard, where you do have some bands that kind of are just like, I don't really give a shit. It's kind of like, it's kind of the way hip hop's going now. If you really look at it, hip hop, it went from a whole thing where it was like very masculine, very street related. Now you're seeing rap artists that are kind of breaking that mold. You're seeing them cross even gender norms, with what they do. They're presenting themselves that is something different. And somebody's turning around going, that's weird, but I like it. You know what I'm saying?
Rap is weird now, man.
Yeah,
and,
it is.
And full disclosure, a lot of like the trap stuff kind of doesn't really do anything for me.
SoundCloud rappers are weird.
But like the fact that you think, but what's cool is it feels like the '90s. It's like the '90s all over again in this way, where it's like the music that was popular in the '90s. If you think about it, dude, like drive-by truckers and shit. You ever listen to that record?
No, I've
Guys
never.
Up with His Feet? Fucking bizarre, dude. that record sold 1 million copies.
Yeah.
That you'll know the song if you look it up. It's the song. It's just M's, and it's you'll.
Okay.
It was a very popular song in the '90s.
Yeah,
you know it if you heard it. And that shit sold 1 million copies.
Yeah.
So like, in a way, it's like like the popular music was so odd. Like you look at like stuff like Mazzy Star and stuff like even like Nine Inch Nails to a degree, like Ministry.
Artists like MF Doom who do rap over jazz riffs and shit like that.
Yeah, where it was like strange music was what was making money for a little while, and then it just stopped happening for a while.
Yeah.
Now we're like full circle again, where like the popular music, again, full disclosure, it's like mostly not for me.
Yeah, exactly.
But I do love the fact that like music that's fucking weird,
but the
is
energy,
making like squillions of dollars. Right?
Yeah, but like you guys are saying, like the energy, the vibe, the identity is kind of taking over that flow. Whereas, some people are focused on lyrical content when it comes to that style of music. Some people are just focused on the vibe, the feeling, you know what I'm saying? And I think, the excitement that I'm hearing from you guys about this record, it kind of seems like you guys went that way as well too. The vibe, a feeling of just raw fucking energy.
If that's not the title of this fucking episode, man.
Yeah, man. It's funny because and I think that attitude of just like fuck it, we're just gonna do whatever we want was like really important, because the bottom line is like modern stuff, especially with heavy music, right? Like modern metal, like a lot of the kind of like extended range, like there's kind of this like emphasis of like, everybody's got that kind of like tappy 8-string thing going on.
Exactly.
Everyone wants to be something bossy.
And that stuff is neat. Don't get me wrong. And there are, most of our peers are playing like much more marketable music, as far as like, if we wanted to, basically we were in it to make money.
We'd be fucked.
We're fucked because we're not playing what's popular right now. That's the thing, is we're not playing what people are into, and our a lot of our friends are playing that kind of the kind of music that's like very popular amongst kind of like the heavy community right now. So it's not a dig. It is not a dig because they're all like all our friends are way too good.
Yeah, you respect it
Oh,
no matter what.
Totally respect. Totally respect it. It's like super cool. I wish my brain worked like that.
Yeah.
But there are lots of bands that kind of fall into that category of, being a little bit more like the mainstream.
Yeah.
But, if there aren't bands out there like us, I'm hoping that we can kind of start a trend around our area where it's like, you know what? Don't do it for the Facebook likes, man. Don't do it for, the shares. Just do it because it's what you guys feel. And that's kind of what we do. We're like, does this riff make sense on the record? Who gives a fuck?
Exactly.
You're right. Like,
feel good.
Just do it. Yeah,
it's kind of like that Code Orange, Knock Loose kind of mentality. If you've listened to some of a lot of what they're doing, even some of what they're doing is considered against the norm if you really think about it. Especially Code Orange.
Especially Knock Loose.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Code Orange is doing some.
As time went on, what I mean. That band is like a great example of like doing weird shit and still doing really well for themselves too. Like
they're supposed to tour Slipknot, dude.
They're completely breaking out of the underground on like their weirdest record. You know what I mean? That's
for sure.
Fucking awesome. And so much stuff about their work ethic and their attitude is so cool. They're doing so much promo stuff for that new album themselves, where they're making all the stuff for the videos.
They're very huge.
Promo stuff themselves. And that's like so sick. I mean, just their attitude and their work ethic. I own one of Reba's guitars.
Yeah,
I'm all about it, man. They're a cool band. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, they're getting really popular with the wrestling community because they've been featured on several WWE events, and I think that's also one of those things where another group of weird people. I mean, people who are fans of wrestling latch onto something like that and can take it from, me too, big time.
That's me.
Yeah. As much as people want to discredit us, but we're a different kind of breed. And I've said this before on several different shows. It goes music, professional wrestling, and horror movies. That's my life right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
boy, you right.
For real.
Boy, you right. Man, the first time I ever heard Motorhead was from Triple H.
Yeah, man.
Well, Lemmy, but whatever.
Yeah.
I got a film degree because I wanted to be George Romero, dude.
Nothing wrong with that, man. That is awesome.
Didn't work out, but whatever.
So, like I said, man, it sounds like you guys are on a good vibe. Corona didn't slow you guys down, and that's awesome. And it sounds like you guys got some great opinions. Is there anything like that you guys want people to know about your band in particular that kind of like, I wouldn't say sets you guys apart, but is something like, if you're gonna ride with the Mighty Fall, this is what you need to know? You know what I'm saying? Is there something in particular?
I think with us, the thing that we, more so than the music, like not counting the music at all in any quality, like the thing that we pride ourselves on the most is just being just down to earth dudes and being able to, if a fan comes up to us and, just tries to give us like, hey, good set, man. Like we have a full conversation with that person, like be friends with that person, not just look at them like, hey, thanks, and like walk away like, hey, you're a fan, that's cool. Like, no, like us, the band and the fans are always on the same level. And, a lot of people have told us that that's one of the things that they like about us is that, we usually, 9 times out of 10, man, you can just catch us hanging at our merch table or at the bar and, we'll have a drink with you. We'll shoot the shit. We'll just do whatever. And we could be talking about our band or their band if they have one, or just anything, and just kind of have a good time. And we just want to make sure that like, the music's cool. Yeah, we're super into what we do. We're super protective of what we do, but being good, genuine people is way more important than any song we could put out.
We hang out and watch all the bands, anytime we play, wherever we are, we're hanging, we're watching all the bands, we're making friends. That's like the bottom line is like, the music is intense. The music is serious. It's confrontational, intense music. Yes. And you've seen us, so you kind of know how it goes. But like, we're not actually like that.
Yeah. When we get to the venue, man, we have to actually like kind of convey this to our wives sometimes. It's like when we get to the venue, we're punched in. We're on the clock. This is our job now. This is what we do. From the moment that we get there to the moment that we load our gear up and go home, we're on the clock. But that doesn't mean that we have to be all serious all the time. Even if you notice, like on stage, I fuck with my bass player constantly. I want to make him as miserable as I can on stage at every point that I can.
Yeah.
I try and break his tailbone at one part. There's one specific part of one song. I kick him in the ass so hard I try and break his tailbone at every show. But it makes people laugh and people like remember that. And so we just want to make sure that like, yes, we're punched in. Yes, we're doing what it is that we have to do, that we're obligated to do while we're here. But we're cool guys. You can come talk to us. You can hang out with us. And it's not like we're like, we'll hang out with you and be like, hey, you want to buy a hat while you're here?
Yeah.
Like, no, it's like, listen, man, you want to come hang out with us, have a drink? Cool. You want to buy some merch? Sick. Here's a free sticker or something while you're at it. Just be genuine people, and that's don't be cocky, don't be assholes.
If you're not in it for fun, if you're not having fun, you could be doing literally anything else and could be having a better time.
This is all about fun, man.
Yeah,
it's
man.
all about
Some bands, and I see it all the time. And to be honest with you, even myself, sometimes I have that competitive nature where like I want to be, I want to be top tier, if you will. You know what I'm saying? But then, I hear somebody like Devin, and I'm just like, yeah, that's impossible because this kid's out here doing what he's doing at 19. You know what I'm saying?
It's great that you feel like that, though. That's really important. As like you're a dude, this. It's like you want to crush and you want to stand out. You want to like you want that kind of like, because at the end of the day, right? Like we're all like, unless you're not playing in front of people on purpose, there's like that little bit of an ego at the very
of course.
Like you want to kill. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You be that dude. As far as being the best at something, if we're talking like pure technical skill and all that kind of bullshit, it's like, oh, dude, I'm such like a knuckle dragon player, and I know it because like, dude, I'll have these like brief like flirtations with like technique where I'm like, sitting there with the metronome and
giving him a solo on the first record is one of the worst things I ever did to him.
And driving my girlfriend crazy with all this like do, and then I was like, what the fuck am I doing this for? There's gonna be some like 10-year-old kid in China who can smoke no matter how
he's doing sweeps and arpeggios out the ass right now.
I can't do that shit. I've been playing for 15 years.
Literally, what is the fuck? So like, but you want to like, and with the other bands, like I know that when guys that we know put out music, I'm always like, oh damn, we gotta kill, we gotta do better. You know what I mean?
Better than that.
That's, we gotta as much as like we, and these are our friends, of course. At the end of the day, we love all of the bands around here and support them, and we all hang out together. And everybody, it's all love. It's all love. It's
friendly competition.
Exactly. It happens in the band.
Oh yeah.
When it got to the point like near the end of doing the record, I'm just like, no, I want this last riff to be mine. So I'm just secretly drilling riffs for like 3 days. I'm like, guys, the song's done. It's in the drive. It's done. It's done. It's here. It's done.
we always have that attitude though, like where we want to go on stage and make sure that like the band that follows us,
you're fucked.
Has a hard fucking time.
Yeah.
We don't want the band after us to be like, oh, that's gonna be easy. No, hell no. We want to make sure that the band that comes on after us is like, oh shit, we gotta follow that. Like,
no worries. No, I definitely know that feeling because I definitely felt like when we played the reunion show with you guys, I felt like, man, we put on a killer set, not having practiced a long time, and like my guitar player had flown from Arizona, and I thought we did a great job, and you guys went on there, and then
you guys did.
But you guys, like, to be honest with you, you guys went on there and crushed it, man. I found myself banging my head the whole fucking time. I was just like, I don't know, and I was completely mesmerized by Nick and his just violent assault on his guitar.
let me point out something very important about Nick's stage show to you, and I learned this in less than we've been doing this together for about 2 years now. So I learned this very quickly. When Nick is mad at himself or something on stage when he just walks in circles.
Oh my god!
He'll just walk in a circle and you can tell he's pissed.
If I'm cranky about something, I'm usually just running laps.
He'll just run in place. It's hilarious. He has his little ticks.
No, that's cool. So my last question for you guys is: today is a very special anniversary, and even though this isn't coming out until Friday, but it is the year anniversary of your EP, Look the Part, man. Tell me those feelings. How do you look back on the record? Do you?
I thought for sure I'd be dead by now.
This record, it was responded to very well.
Mm-hmm.
And what sucks is that, like, we love this record, but at the same time, we're like, oh my God, we need to release the new one. Like, it's so much more us than that last, like, you know, like I said before, I had written that last record before this band really had an identity. And now that we have one, it's like, yeah, that record's, you know, we're really proud of this record and that's great. But this new one is so much more us that we're like, okay, please keep listening to this record for a little while longer. But like, it's coming. We're working on it. We're trying so hard. And like half the songs that you heard live are going to be on that new record just because we were so excited. We're like, we have to start playing this. We can't hold these back. Like, we have to start playing these.
Look, the part was fun, man. Look, the part was definitely like interesting because, like I said before, it was like total catch up for me. Where I'm like, okay, there were some things that I could contribute, and that was great.
A lot of layer stuff.
And, yeah, there was like some of the sound design stuff, and like just there was like some parts missing and that sort of stuff. But like, you know, putting it together was a lot of fun. We recorded our friend Brad, who runs a you know, now at this point it's like kind of a mobile studio, but he has a company called Auburn Recording. He was annexing. It was the annex of like this old creepy church. Yeah. And it was so fucking haunted. I was scared to death of that place, dude.
Where is this? Because my wife would love to be there, like,
it was in,
ASAP.
It was in Newport, Rhode Island.
Yeah, it was in Newport, Rhode Island. Like,
out on the ocean. We were recording in like December. It was freezing fucking cold. Just like snow, just below zero the whole time. It was, yeah, we were just like,
miserable.
We were just, we spent, it was a week where all I saw was, you know, the walls of that place.
Yeah. And like the Greek food place across the street.
The Greek place down the street. I ate a lot of stuffed grape leaves that week. And we were just burning through the material, you know. It was like pretty efficient, pretty productive for the most part. We definitely like kind of like staggered the workload in a way where we were just sort of like leapfrogging so no one got burnt out, basically. So like, you know, all the performances were good and no one was getting all zonked and just couldn't play anymore, you know, because nobody wants, you don't, I love playing guitar, but if I have to play guitar for 8 hours straight, I'm going to blow my fucking brains out. So I'm just like, that's not, no one wants to do that kind of shit because you get
fatigued.
Just brain fatigue where I'm like, I can't play. Was I always bad?
Yeah, exactly.
Or did this just start happening?
Man, if you can see the videos of him recording some of the stuff.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Recording the solo on Legends and Tyrants, man. Holy shit, that was funny.
Yeah, there's a half and half. The first half is him and the second half is me, and I was just like, I majorly overwrote the part, and I was just like, God, I'm never watching another Shred DVD as long as I fucking live, man. This is never happening again.
No,
so like the one like lead on its own that I get on the new record is like a lot more ZZ Top than it has been.
For me, like doing Look the Part was really, really sick because I hadn't released a record since 2014.
Yeah.
So 5 years later, finally releasing another EP, and like, you know, sorry, my wife keeps texting me.
No, it's all right, man.
Me and Eeyore were both in Behind the Silence as well as we were in this band. So like for me and him to still be working together and do another record together, this is going to be our third one. Like, you know, new group of guys, new vibe. It just felt really good to drop another record again and be like, you know, we're back in the saddle or whatever Aerosmith says.
I've been playing music with our drummer since we were 14 maybe. Yeah. So it was kind of like the same thing. So it's just like nice to, you know, to have that sort of stuff. That record was like, it was a challenge. It definitely felt like it was
went through a lot of shit to start that record.
It felt like it was a real like uphill battle to get there. And like, you know, obviously, like, because no art, what's the phrase? It's like art is never done. It's just abandoned.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So obviously, like, there's things where, like, if I could go back in time and have more money and more time,
exactly,
things that were different about it or whatever, we would spend more time on X, Y, Z.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you know, coulda, woulda, shouldas.
Yeah,
bro, I forgot a lead part on the record. I forgot to record the fucking thing.
Yeah, oh my
yeah, he
God.
literally
I'm
just
listening
left down parts.
I'm listening back to the finals. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I can't believe I did that.
Yeah, no, that's like sometimes you forget to do, you know, accenting pieces to certain particular parts and stuff like that, and you're just like,
Yeah.
shit, I had this really cool idea for this part, and nope, done. We have no time for that. But real quick, guys, I actually lied. There is one more question I want to talk to you about.
Sure.
Yes.
The hot sauce, man. What is up with that, man? I saw you guys had hot sauce. Okay, so one, who's making it? And two,
Him.
whose idea?
Him.
What kind of hot sauce are we talking here? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, me and my wife are connoisseurs of the sauce.
Oh, sick! We gotta get you some.
Yeah. I gotta. We're due to make some more.
Okay.
It turned into such a thing. I had to kind of like pump the brakes for a minute just because it's like I don't have time.
Yeah, that shit. That shit was silly. We were getting sauce. Let me tell you something. You know how much new merch we bought off of that sauce money? Holy shit!
Oh yeah, we were studio gear with it.
Studio gear, like, dude, we got
I'm
hats now.
I'm taking a guess the sauce was as aggressive as the music was.
Yeah, it's actually really good. It's not so. The idea was I love hot sauce. I love spicy food. I've wanted to do it forever.
Yeah,
and then so a band that I'm friendly with, this band Monument of a Memory from Jersey. They do a sauce like once a year, really limited quantity. And I just kind of had that moment. I got to talking with their bass player Josh about it. I'm like, you know, I got some details about how they were sort of doing things. Like, damn, you know, that's a really good idea.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna do it because we need new merch. We were talking about, well, what do we do for some new merch? I'm like, okay, you know, some thoughts. I'm like, okay, hot sauce. This is happening.
So how many flavors do you have on the sauce side?
It's like a sweet heat. It's like a tropical fruit and like a little bit of this. So it's like, it's got the sweet. You can kind of put it on anything. It's really.
I was gonna ask. That was my next question. Do you prefer it better on chicken?
With the sauce, dude.
Good on its own.
Oh my
really?
God.
Now I'm gonna tell you. Yeah, I'm about to say.
Night.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to hit you up for this because I'm telling you right now, my wife, that is her wheelhouse. Anything sweet heat is definitely, she is about that. But if you say you got heat, don't play with her. She wants that heat. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
It doesn't have a whole lot of heat. It's comfortable.
It's good heat. It's good heat. It stacks up on you the more you have of it.
Yeah,
I was gonna say it's not disrespectful. Hit you in the mouth.
Yeah, the initial batch was a little more gentle, and then like the last couple batches we've done, it was a little more aggro, but it's good. It's good, man.
No,
it was supposed to be the flavor was the most important thing from the initial whole thing. Was like, all right, if I'm gonna do this, it's got to taste good because I'm not.
We're not gonna sell some bullshit.
Yeah, I'm getting old. I get acid reflux now. If it's gonna be hot, it's gotta at least taste good.
Be worth the Pepsid AC or whatever you're taking.
Yeah.
No, that's
cool.
What?
I
thought it was the dumbest fucking idea, man. I can't even lie. We were sitting at work one day and it was Dad. He's like, "Bro, we should do hot sauce." I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Like, just let me have this.
I was like, listen.
Yeah.
You make it. I was like, make it. Bring me a sample.
We'll talk about it. Exactly. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
He did, and I was like, "All right, motherfucker, bottle it up. Let's do this." And then,
because it's one of those things. I think it's one of those things where it's just like, and especially when you're talking about communities. The hot sauce community is a spicy one, literally. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And you better bring that shit, man. So it sounds like you guys did.
You ain't good.
I was about to say, it sounds like you guys did pretty fucking well for yourselves off the sauce.
If I had $1 for every time this motherfucker said to me, "What is the matter with you?" and I just do it, and he's like, "Oh, okay."
All right.
We'd have a lot more. We'd be richer than.
Listen, man, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong, but I'm also not afraid to tell me it's a dumb idea.
Hey, man, because there's always us guys. You guys in the band. There's always like an identity. You've got the wild card. You've got the one who is like, all right, guys, let's keep this shit together. You've got the one who is always going to be late and never on time.
No, that's our drummer. That's our drummer. So, I know he's going to listen to this and he's going to be pissed. That motherfucker, man.
Oh
man.
He's going to be so mad.
No, it's okay. I'm a combination of two things. I'm the on time guy and the first one to leave because I've got family, so I got to be home guy.
Oh, they got me practice at my house because my family don't move from upstairs, man.
That's hilarious.
There's a reason why he handles the numbers and I handle the numbers.
Yeah, numbers,
Hey, man,
numbers and business stuff is usually run by me.
I was gonna say, I'm when we get off here, I'm giving you my address. My wife definitely is gonna want some of that hot sauce for sure. But
Next match I get.
Oh man, so Nick, Andrew, man, you guys have been fantastic guests. I greatly appreciate you guys being on. I was hoping to get some more members, but I mean, this worked out how it was supposed to work out. No, yeah, man, definitely we should do it when the new record drops for sure.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
Yeah, exactly, man.
You right.
Exactly. Maybe we'll do a wing challenge, and maybe we'll do it in person, and we'll maybe exactly. Yeah, we'll make some sauce and have some wings and throw down, and then talk about the record.
I gotta go back to the lab.
But greatly appreciate you guys being on, and if you guys want to find out where you can find the Mighty Fall, they're on Spotify, they're on Apple. You can reach them on Facebook, the Mighty Fall Band RI, Instagram as well, too, gentlemen. You can reach out to them if you're looking for booking or apparently hot sauce. You can reach out to them at the Mighty Fall Band at Gmail.
Fuck the music, fuck the merch, just bookings and hot sauce.
Hot sauce, yeah. Everyone's just like, this hot sauce. I heard so much about the hot sauce. I don't know about this band. But anyways, gentlemen.
They're a band?
We'll get people in the door, man. I'm here for it.
Exactly, man. Thank you guys for joining me, man. And you guys have a great night, man, for real.
Thanks for having us, man. It was good to see you again.
You
All
too,
right,
buddy.
man, for real.